Alright everyone, how are you doing? Welcome to the second episode of the Footy Fanatics Lounge podcast. This week we are joined by George Talks Wolves as we are talking about the game last night where West Ham lost 3-2 at the Molineux and exited the Carabao Cup. Do I want to be talking to a Wolves fan? Not really, but let's get into it tonight and hear some absolute ball knowledge from me, Brexit Bubbles, and George Talks Wolves. Let's get into it.
Of course. But yeah, no, you're right. You're completely right. And that talking about Upton Park, that would honestly make me cry. Literally, I leave that for another time. But scoring West Ham yesterday, scoring 2 in quite a quick spell. Obviously, Wolves went on to score a lot quicker. Did it kind of worry you yesterday from a first half which both teams were quite poor, but Wolves probably being slightly the better side? Did it worry you that really kind of 2 shots on target? It was 2 West Ham goals yesterday.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think the main difference between us and you guys yesterday, I mean, you could argue on paper. Obviously, we showed a lot more fight and passion in the last 10 minutes to win the game. But I feel like arguably you guys, probably for the first 80 minutes, were the better side. And that's down to sort of a couple of key factors. Those factors being Jared Bowen and Lucas Paqueta. 2 players of extreme quality. We don't have those types of players anymore. Obviously, I mentioned Matheus Cunha and Ait Nouri. Those were our Mavericks. We've lost them. You still have yours, which does make me think there's no chance you go down. I know a lot of your fans are very worried. I think you guys will be okay, purely because you do have... And I know Bowen's obviously probably streets ahead of Paqueta in your guys' eyes, but they're both very, very good players. They were definitely game changers for me. Definitely kind of, and I was thinking to myself, like, yes, we've scored, but it's a rebound off a penalty, probably something, a chance. We're not really creating any chances, no direct chances. So when you go 2-1 down, and Bowen's in form, Paqueta's in form, and, you know, you did have, I suppose the centre-backs were looking fairly solid. Obviously, you brought on a former Wolves man, which might have helped our case. I think it definitely did. Still don't really understand that transfer fee, but hey, thank you, Lopetegui, again. I'm sure we'll talk about Lopetegui later in the podcast. So yeah, it was, as I said, like, I didn't expect us to get back into it. Obviously, it's great that we did, but I was very worried at one point. I mean, you know, sometimes in a football game where, like, you just don't know what to say, and your face just sinks into your hands, and you're just like, I just can't. I'm emotionless. I can't say anything because it gets to the point where you're so angry and you're getting so upset and so sad. You just begin to feel nothing. And that was what I was feeling, but we definitely needed those 2 goals to go in. So, you know, what's obviously going 2-1 up, 10 minutes to go, you know, you feel like decent performance, not the best, but you've gone away from home. And let's face it, you know, I don't know what ground you've had some problems at in the past. We usually do beat you at home.
Usually,
How does it sort of feel? How does it sort of, like, how are you feeling, and what do you think kind of went wrong in the last 10 minutes? Because,
to be fair, 2-1 never felt right. It never did feel right because I don't think we deserved it. Like, as much as football is a game, I remember there was a game a couple of years ago when we absolutely robbed you at the end, and there was a big goal disallowed.
Oh God, yeah.
We won 2-1, and we did not deserve that. Like, had we have won yesterday, that would be nothing compared to that game we won a couple of seasons ago. But 2-1 didn't feel right, and there was something about it. If we would have gone on and got that third, completely different story. But 2-1 did not feel right whatsoever. Obviously, you bring on a brilliant player like Strand Larson. He was linked with a move away, wasn't he? But, like, I think it's going to be extremely important for you to keep a player like that because he comes on and he completely changed it. I'll get your opinion on if that was the main one in a minute. But if that was from 2-1 up, I didn't feel comfortable. Did not feel comfortable one bit because, knowing how we were recently in terms of shipping goals and just in general of throwing leads away, trust me, I've been there before when we were up in Newcastle 3-1 up, lost 4-3. I mean, that was rough to say the least. So no, I wasn't comfortable, and 3-2 ultimately could kind of see it coming. But yeah, No, go on, Karen.
I was going to say, like, obviously we did make a lot of subs. You know, you bring on the likes of João Gomez, Strand Larson, players like, who else came on? Now? Jackson Joe, obviously, we talked about the burst of pace he brought to the team. When you bring on players like that, you almost think, like, if we can't win now, then we're never going to win. I mean, interesting enough, you guys went with your full first 11. Obviously, you mentioned you would like to see players like Freddie Potts, Oliver Scarles potentially get a game. So I did definitely think, like, at one point, West Ham have gone with their full team. Wolves haven't. Probably looking like a West Ham win here, but it's almost like we had those subs we could bring on in the bag. I don't know whether that would have been a good tactic from Graham Potter.
Yeah. No, yeah, you're spot on. It's I think you're it was like you were playing your second team, but you definitely wanted it more from the start. And it's easy to go, oh, Wolves were the home team, Wolves are expected to win. It's not always like that. And yesterday, from the get go, really. I mean, it was a kind of nothing game. That's just what it seemed like to me. Some of the atmosphere it felt like a friendly, not up until the end, but it felt like a friendly for most of it. And Wolves put out definitely a weaker side. We missed Wan-Bissaka and we didn't play full Krug and that, but we were we probably put out a stronger one in comparison. You're right, yeah, spot on.
No. I mean, as I said, when I looked at the team. And obviously, because I feel like with you guys, a lot of the players, like Sackico, Paqueta, Bowen, Areola, Mavropanos, Agard, these are players that were once quite good when West Ham were, looking like, you were looking sort of like a good top half-table team, Europa Conference League winners. So for me, I always still look at those players and think they're pretty decent, but I know you guys have had problems with Mavropanos, Agard. I know Paqueta's kind of been very inconsistent. Areola's another one. Souček always scores against Wolves. I don't know what he's generally like, but what's kind of caused the demise in the squad? Why is the team that was so good and such a force of David Moyes turned into this team that just seems to be getting turned over by teams every week so easily? I just don't get it.
No, it's hard to tell because everyone wants to point the finger and say, oh, why'd you get rid of David Moyes? I don't think it's that because the second half of the last season under Moyes, 23-24, there were games where we were getting absolutely battered anyway. We lost, bear in mind, all right, I'm going to say we lost 6-0 to Arsenal, 5-0 to Chelsea, two good teams, obviously. We were getting battered 5-2 to Palace. We were just getting smashed every week. And even when we weren't getting battered, we were absolutely terrible, which ultimately led to Moyes leaving. But since then, we just haven't really bounced back. It's like we, I don't know what it is. Maybe we need a new defence. Maybe it's a bit slow. Maybe there's been injuries, stuff like that. People always complain about the board. Something about the club. Since we've won that Conference League, we had a good hangover period of just banging in results at the start of 23-24. And since then, we haven't been back. We've just been going down and down and down. And I thought this season would be a change. I thought we'd pick up, get a good win at Sunderland. Obviously, probably lose to Chelsea. Maybe go through in the cup and stuff like that. But it's been hell to the start of the season, really.
Well, if you look at Wolves and West Ham as well, we're two examples of if you're poorly run, you will just naturally drop down the table. I mean, I don't know about you, but I think us two have the worst two sets of owners in the league, personally.
Possibly,
I know you guys don't like your owners. We definitely don't like ours. We've just been going backwards. We're the only team in the Premier League to have a positive net spend within the last 5 years. So essentially, we're the only team in the Prem that sold more money than what we spent. Which is if we're the only team that's doing it and we're constantly getting worse, it shows that's not the way to play it. I know you guys. I mean, Lopetegui did very well at Wolves, but I feel like we kind of had him on shackles a little bit. To give him I'm surprised you guys gave him complete control, and he made some very good signings at Wolves. So let's take it back to the start because this is where the real problems of West Ham begin. Well, obviously, first of all, when Lopetegui first comes in, obviously it's a very similar style of manager to Moyes. What's the thoughts there, and why do you think he was kind of allowed to make those weird transfers that he did?
Well, when he came in, actually, it never really felt. It was a bit like yesterday. It never really felt right. There was just something off about it. Maybe it was because we had Moyes for a good few years. Bit weird seeing a change, especially a manager that's won you a trophy the year before. As much as he did have to go, but Lopetegui coming in, he was spending straight away. That summer he bought obviously Kilman from Wolves, 40 million. He brought a young Brazilian Luis Guilherme who's under sort of pressure to perform because he came in for 30 million. Crescencio Somerville's been injured. Kruger was injured for ages. He bought all these players and hardly any of them were playing. Debo as well. So when he came in and spent a load of money, and he was allowed to spend a load of money, the fans were really excited. but that just put more pressure on him. And the more pressure just made it worse and worse. He lost the first game. We were struggling by Christmas. No real like relegation threat. And there wasn't really ever any relegation threat as much as this season. Although we're only 2 Premier League games in, everyone's going, "Oh, West Ham going to get relegated." I don't think we'll get relegated.
That's too reactionary. You're not going down. I don't think so.
We're not going down. You come out and say it, but it's 2 games. If you look at it, right, this is how I look at it. We're 1 point off of the likes of Newcastle and Villa, but they're not in that conversation. We're 1 point off them just because we've got battered in the first 2. Yes, it's not a good start, but we're 1 point off of them. Where does it stop? We're only 2 games in. If it's Christmas and we sat down there, different story. But like Lopetegui, by the end of it, he was just hopeless, absolutely hopeless. He fell out with everyone. He fell out with our sporting director, who's now gone, but he fell out with. There were big bust-ups in the dressing room. It was just a different Lopetegui to ones we'd seen it when he was at Seville, even a different one to when he was at Wolves. As you say, I think he was half decent at Wolves.
Yeah, the Wolves, like, I'll give credit where credit's due, because a lot of Wolves fans absolutely despise him, and I don't really agree, because what Lopetegui did what he did well was he came into a squad, like quite a strong squad to be fair, but we were just lacking in defensive numbers. He just came in and he just made the signings we needed. He brought in Cunha, he brought in Ballon Dawson, as you know. Obviously a bit player now, but like we signed him from you guys. I think it was more of like he wanted to be close to his family, but brilliant player to you guys. And at the time, obviously, when we brought him in, great centre back. Mario Lemina comes in, like brilliant midfielder. We obviously get João Gomez, young Brazilian, who's now probably our strongest player. Pablo Sarabia, someone from he's obviously played for Real Madrid, PSG in the past. So he's just bringing in all these big names, and it was the first time our owners were actually like, right, we're just going to spend money and just not care about FFP. And obviously, in the summer we had a load of issues with FFP, and we had to get rid of all the players that we did have, like Ruben Neves and João Martino and all them.
Yeah.
But that's why I respect him, because he came in, he made signings, he did make us stronger, and then when he wanted to get us further up the table and back us, he couldn't. He couldn't make the signings, and he basically threw his toys out the pram. However, if you look back at the team he walked out on, it was still a very strong team, a lot stronger than the team we got now. So on one hand, I did like him because he got things done. He did what he needed to do. However, he also chickened out. And another thing he did was he isolated a lot of players, fell out of a lot of players, which I know was very similar to you. A very moody character on the dressing room. But I think the kind of club West Ham are, and obviously, I'm not going to say reactionary fans, but passionate. Probably some of the fan base are very reactionary, I'd say.
Yeah, a lot of them are. But yeah.
Passionate fans, if you're getting managers who don't look like they're arsed, or, playing weird tactics, falling out with players who, you're a fan of, it's just not going to go down too well. I was surprised at how poor you were. Did look like there was some good performances. I remember you playing Newcastle off the park. Good win against Palace. I remember that. Because obviously I liked Lopetegui at the time. I was watching him and things like that. Obviously then Lopetegui goes. Obviously we had the famous El Sackico last year.
Yeah.
The manager actually ended up sacked. So, to be fair, Gary O'Neill went the next game. I think Lopetegui went a few after. Obviously, we went in for Graham Potter. Doesn't want to join because we can't offer him the transfers, or there's no ambition at Wolves. Obviously, goes to West Ham. At the time, I'm thinking I wanted Potter. We've ended up with this guy from Saudi who has had more clubs than I've got fingers. And I'm thinking to myself, we can't even get someone like Graham Potter, who's been out of work for that long and had a disaster season at Chelsea, but is still a good manager. But you've got to bring in this nobody. But I think now you probably want our manager, and we definitely wouldn't want yours.
No, yeah, I completely. I mean, again, I didn't when this Vitor Pereira came in. I didn't have a clue he was like. I think like a lot of you, you'd say honestly, who's that? But now I mean, I wanted to back Potter to the hills. Like literally, I wanted to be like this. I was thinking this season, I'm giving him Christmas. I'm giving him up there, and maybe we still should. I've been going on yesterday and today thinking, Potter out, get him out of my club. And potentially that is very reactionary. We are 3 games in, and at the end of the day, as much as it was a good win for Wolves yesterday, and it was a poor performance for West Ham, it's a cup game. It's not the end. It's not the end of the world for West Ham. It's good to go through, of course, but it's not the end of the world, and it definitely shouldn't get sacked overnight. But at the end of if we go and lose to Forest, we're then 3 without a win. especially if we get battered again as well. But as you say, yeah, would I take Vitor Pereira at the minute? He's obviously not going to leave Wolves, but yeah, I definitely would.
Okay, I'll tell you what, can you imagine Vitor Pereira, the pint drinking manager? Can you imagine the pub with Danny Dyer?
Literally, dream lineup.
Come for a pint as well.
The boss guy, yeah.
Oh, well, Tom Skinner, yeah. You can just
Tom
imagine.
Skinner.
I mean, obviously, Wolverhampton's got a few icons, but nothing like you guys have got. As I said, obviously, you're a much bigger club. So, in terms of fan base, not in terms of history. Historically, we're bigger.
No, fair enough. I'll give you
fan base. You guys are, but obviously, that's the advantage of London and Wolverhampton. But yeah, so what happens with Potter now? I mean, obviously, Forest, difficult game. Like, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, as you say, difficult game for us. We have a terrible record at the City Ground. We haven't scored since they've got promoted there, and it's just seems to be a terrible ground to go to for West Ham, and it's one where we need a result now. And the most West Ham thing to do in that situation is to go and get a result. So I'm not going to. I'm still not overly confident for the game because again we're 2 without a win in the league, gone out of the cup. We've conceded 3 in all 3 of our games. One of them losing 5-1 to Chelsea. So. I don't really know how Sunday's going to go. Potter is under unbelievable pressure. I think he's going to go extremely defensive. If we do win, it will literally be 1-0, probably a Souček header in the 83rd minute or something. But
But you take it.
Yeah, you've got to take it at this point, and we can definitely possibly get that result. But it's whether or not Potter's going to do it, and if he doesn't. Then we go into Spurs after the international break, which is always obviously a huge game. Gets labelled as our cup final. The whole Kudus thing as well.
Oh God, yeah.
You know, even as a Wolves fan, I'm sure you know how annoying Spurs fans are. So I'm, they.
I think they're massive.
They get any.
They're not even like a big six club, really. I mean, apart from that Europa League, what have they even won in the last 20 years?
Exactly.
Finished 17th last season.
Exactly, finished lower than both of us. Come on,
how bad were we last season? And we still finished above them. It's ridiculous.
Spurs, not, yeah.
Spurs. I mean, I've got a few Spurs mates. They're all right, but as I said, them North London clubs, man, their fan bases are just.
Yeah, no, Arsenal definitely got worse last couple of years, but I mean, they've always been a bit annoying, but last couple of years they've got to another level. But we got Spurs when we come back after the international break, and. If he loses to Forest, loses to Spurs, then I think we got Palace or something, and it's just you need some results. Yeah, you're not asking for West Ham to be challenging for top 6, although we were a couple of seasons ago. You're not asking for that every year. You're not even asking for necessarily top 10. Just give it your all, and just get
it is
some
hard
results.
when you're not one of these big 6 teams because I mean, for us guys, obviously you guys have had a stint in Europe. You guys have had 3 years in Europe. We had a year in Europe. So I know how good Europe is, and obviously, that it must be hard having so many years in Europe to all of a sudden not have it. But it's hard for us guys, the teams that aren't in these European competitions, because you basically got 3 cups, you basically got 3 trophies to play for, and the Premier League, you might as well count yourself out of that. Yeah. There's absolutely no chance. And then you're looking at 2 cups. Well, these basically, if you get a big team in a cup in the latter rounds, it's so hard to beat them. That's why you got to credit Newcastle beating Liverpool.
Yeah,
absolutely unbelievable win for them because everyone kind of had Liverpool to win it. And obviously, you guys luckily have won a major trophy recently. I know people say it's only the Conference League, but it's still a major.
Yeah,
exactly. So you've got, as I said, there's not many trophies to win, so it is hard for when you break the Premier League. It's like, right, now we're in the Premier League. Now what? Brighton have been consistently good for years, but they don't have any trophies to show for it.
Nah.
Palace obviously getting the FA Cup, but now they're probably going to go into Europe. They've lost their side, and they're probably going to be set back because they've got extra games. So it's hard to know how to play it, and obviously then as you guys know, I mean, it's a bit different with Jarrod Bowen because obviously he's tied into West Ham, and I can't see him ever leaving. I mean, maybe at one point last night I did think he could go, but he's already apologised. Credit to him. I'd love a player like that. But with Wolves, it's like as soon as anyone's any good, you just know they're going to leave, and it's like you guys are cool. Like you know they're going to leave, and it's really hard to push any higher. And with all this PSR and FFP nonsense, it's not really a lot we can do. So there is times where I do feel a bit demotivated to be a Wolves fan. It's like, what's the point? And I almost feel like maybe like getting relegated wouldn't be too bad because it would give us a chance to reset. Maybe shake the squad a little bit, and obviously I know it's a championship, but give us a chance to like win some games, win a trophy. I mean, I'm just going into a bit of a rant about where football's going.
No, you're right. No, it's all good. Yeah,
all because obviously as a West Ham fan now, it's gone from like very good to like so underwhelming. So what's kind of your thoughts on all that? What I've just kind of touched on.
Obviously, supporting our sort of club, I would say like our kind of bracket, like Wolves, West Ham. I'd probably say like Everton at this kind of point, but like supporting those sort of teams, established Premier League teams, but you know you're not going to be like you know you're not going to be at that top end, and you know that if you get a cup run, you're lucky. You're not you've got to take that chance when you can get it, and then if you sneak into Europe like we did for a couple of seasons, then fully go for it. Like I think that's why the Conference League, people slate the Conference League, and it's easy for West Ham fans to go, "Oh, the Conference League is brilliant because we won it." But if a team gets in there, I feel like they should win it. They should put everything into that and win it. It's like Villa the other year haven't won anything for ages. I know they go on about winning the Champions League 4 years ago, whatever, but they haven't won anything for ages. Why didn't they go and win that Conference League? They ruined it for themselves.
I don't think their players have got any bottle, to be honest. And I said this on Green King. I said like Villa do bottle massive games. Have done like in their recent history. They've always bottled massive games. Last season, Man United, the worst Man United team in years. I can't remember Man United were that bad. Yeah. I mean, they were terrible under Ten Hag, Man United. They'd still finish 8th, finishing 15th for Man United. And you're going in away, Old Trafford. I mean, we were terrible at Old Trafford when we played them, and we still beat them.
We both beat them away. Yeah,
didn't even need to turn up, and we still beat them. They're honestly such a disjointed team. I mean, and they don't look that much better this season, to be honest. I predicted them to finish high up, but watching them the other day, shocking. But Villa go there, absolutely stink up the gaff, and I just think like you got Champions League on the line here. Newcastle just lost. You guys have got a bit of a rivalry with Newcastle. Because obviously they're both got the teams that are best of the rest. Like, how are you losing that game? So that's what I always like to say about Villa. Don't have a lot of bottle, and they always lose to us. Can't win.
You're right. They do always, but they don't. Yeah, it was last season when FA Cup as well, and they went out. They threw. I mean, PSG losing to them in the Champions League is a bit more respectable, but but
going out, they beat them in one game. If you ask them.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah.
It went through, you brummies.
Yeah, exactly. exactly. They probably thought they went through, but Villa. You're right. Yeah, best of the rest is probably the best way to put it. But what's that going to get you? I mean, give most Premier League teams a good run in that Conference League, and they've got a proper chance of winning it. I mean, who was in there last year? Okay, Chelsea, Real Betis. I think they would be beatable. Like all these teams craving for a trophy, and they go and even Tottenham, like supposed to be this Big Six team.
You look at the teams. Let's discount Chelsea because obviously they're way above the Conference League, and they probably should never have been put in it. You look at the teams that have it's basically you guys, Leicester and Villa, and Spurs as well. Spurs went out in the group stage, so embarrassing.
We had COVID, of course you did. Yeah,
but they lost. They lost to Karabag, didn't they? I don't know who.
Yeah, lost to Mura. Yeah,
still embarrassing. And then Leicester obviously bottled it. They did play Roma, but that Leicester team back then was cracking. So I don't know how they didn't beat them. Obviously, Villa bottled it against Olympiacos. I mean, come on, if you can't beat them, you don't deserve to win it. But you guys, apart from Chelsea, but as I said, we're going to disregard them because the amount of money they spend, though, it's not even comparable for them. As I said, you guys, the only real ones that took advantage of the competition. So people disrespect you and say, "Oh yeah, it's only a Conference League." But I said, Leicester, Villa, Tottenham, they didn't take the chance, and that would have been a trophy and the place in Europe. So you can't knock it. You cannot knock it at all.
Yeah, it gives you a good final to look forward to. It was absolutely brilliant out there. They're all loving it, as you say. Gets you into. I mean, we finished 14th that year, and we managed that was the reason David Moyes kept his job in the first place. Got us Europa next season. We were playing. We went out to Leverkusen the next year, so it was it gets you into Europe. So I don't know why people don't take it by the scruff of the neck and try and win it.
Yeah, how do you think Palace will do? Do you think they'll try? Do you think they'll go and win it? They should do, really. But
I mean,
that's a big one.
Yeah, they seem to be on a trophy winning spree at the minute after never winning anything. So I mean, good luck to them. But they especially after getting knocked into the conference, which I don't think they should have personally. I know
No.
it's all the ownership, and apparently it's the rules and whatever. But we all know that Marinakis put a bit of money aside and got them down.
Do you think
But
that's what it was? Do you think you bribed them?
I reckon he did. He's
Yeah,
a
I mean,
lunatic, that bloke.
going on to that, because obviously you do play Forest on the weekend. Forest are probably universally the most disliked club in the whole of the Premier League. I mean, I didn't even like them before all this came out.
Neither.
Morgan
Yeah.
Gibbs White saga,
Yeah.
fans are like very deluded. And as I said, that they're in League One when I was a kid, and it's like, you're talking like you're this big Premier League club. You're not. Yes, you did win things once, but like apart from those 2 years when you won a few things, there's nothing really going for you. But like in terms of Mr. Marinakis, yes, as you said, he's a lunatic. Yes, he doesn't play by the rules. But I mean, would you take him as your owner?
I mean, you do end up, as you say, the universally hated club. But if you're on the other end of that, do you care? If like Forest have had an unbelievable season last year, was that down to Nuno? Was it down to the manager? I mean, I would want someone who cares as much, seemingly, as
Yeah.
Marinakis. But yeah, no, I mean, he seems like a very very loose cannon. But yeah, we got them on Sunday, so hopefully we can do everyone a favour
But
and beat them.
I just think you've got to side to him fair play, because obviously Morgan Gibbs White, any other club, like if Morgan Gibbs White was at West Ham, obviously he was at Wolves, but let's say he was at Wolves, he was at Everton, and like a team like Spurs or Arsenal, whoever came in knocking, like we would just bow down and give them to him. Whereas you got to give it to Forest, like the stayed firm. And I mean, I don't know how it works because there's a release clause, but he's just basically refused to sell him. I mean, we're in a predicament now with Strand Larson where there's about 6 days to go for the rest of the window. I'm not sure this will happen, but if we do sell Strand Larson to Newcastle, we're already bottling a load of transfers as it is. We've missed out on so many targets just because people don't want to play for Wolves. Or in the other one the other day, George Mendes had been basically messing the player around. The player was like, "No, I'm not going. I'm not dealing with George Mendes." It's nothing to do with Wolves. It's because of George Mendes. So
Yeah,
all the transfers keep going wrong. And people keep saying, people who don't rank Larson are absolute idiots because he's our best player, he's our only goal scorer.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
they're saying, like, oh, we don't, we should, it's great money. We only paid 25 million for him. It's great profit. I'm like, we're not Brighton. We don't celebrate
No,
transfers.
yeah.
We already have money. Fosun, it just goes all into Fosun's back pocket. And people go on, oh, FFP, this and that. There's no danger of that. The issue is, if we sell him now, we're not going to have time to replace him. We'll end up panic buying, and I just don't want that to happen. So, you look, if we were in Forest's position, I would fully well know that if we said we're not selling him, we wouldn't sell him. But because it's our owners, like, anything could happen. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah, no, literally, yeah. It's similar for us, really, because there's stories about Paqueta potentially going to Spurs, or I think Villa he was linked to as well. Just what's the point? Like, you're not. Why are we just? You don't just want to be that selling club. All right, you've got a couple of exceptions. I would say Declan Rice the other year. It would have been absolutely brilliant to keep him, even for another season. Like, even if it was just one, obviously we would have then been gutted that season losing him. But unbelievable player. But
you
really,
kept
we
a
all knew.
lot longer. To be fair, you kept it a lot longer than I think we probably would have
Yeah,
done.
probably. But ultimately, we always knew he's going to go, and that's fair enough. As much as we're all salty about it, I'd say I'm salty about it. That's why half of us hate Arsenal now. But he was always going to go. Other players though, like Paqueta now, what's the need to sell him to Spurs for? What's the ambition to go to Spurs just because they're in the Champions League for one season? Then the club will feel, oh, let's ship him off there and get 30 mil. What's the point?
What are you going to do with
What's
that
the point?
30 million? Let's be honest, like Wolves, I mean, I'm going to keep using Wolves and West Ham as an example
Yeah.
because we are in a similar state. We're both big clubs that have been neglected, they've been poorly managed, and now we're paying for it. Like, I think with Wolves, it's years of mistakes that set us back. With you, it's kind of a similar thing. We've been all right in the short term, but if you keep making mistakes long term, it will make you just be that sort of club that's kind of hovering above relegation, having to make, making the fans stress and panic. It's just not an enjoyable season. So, for example, like, we're not in a position where we can, well, I suppose let's use Strand Larson, Paqueta examples. Like, we can't we won't be able to get another Strand Larsen now. So, yes, 60 million money, but even with 60 million, there's no one at Strand Larsen's level who we could sign. If you get 30 million for Paqueta, there's no one with 30 million at Paqueta's level you can sign. So you can bring in bit part players that can play the system or, will be good in the squad and maybe good in a few years. But when your team's already struggling, you can't take out these massive key players. You just can't do it. I understand Strand Larsen may want to go to Newcastle, but at the end of the day, he's not begging for the move. He said he's happy to stay. So if we do sell him, it's an absolute disgrace. As it stands, it looks like, oh, have you seen this? It's just popped up. How delighted are you losing 2-0 to Grimsby?
No way.
It's just popped up on the BBC. Man United trailing 2-0 to League 2 Grimsby.
No way. Hold on a minute. Let's talk about the old Blazers.
Time to stop the podcast. Well, not stop the podcast. I'm getting my laptop up.
They are as well. Look, they are.
Are you seeing this?
Oh my God. 2-0.
What?
Jesus, holy voice crack. But
their team's like unreal as well.
Mate, you think we're bad? You think when have we got Carter? When have we got Man United? That's 3 points.
I'll have a look.
We got in December, we I think. We got Man United. I think it's 2-0.
Mate, what? That's just
the bloke cutting his hair. He's going to be going till the end of time.
No way. Like I know Cunha's playing. What?
That's Crawley Towns League. What are you playing at? You're losing 2-0 to Grimsby, lads.
Mate, it's not even like they're dominating either. It's not even like it's been like counter-attacking.
Yeah,
I want to use BBC Sport on the web.
Apparently they're brilliant at set pieces.
No, but come on, mate. League 2.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah.
Mate, that Amarin's got to go. They can't.
Hold on. Let me just get Goldbridge up. He will be fuming, won't he?
Yes. Mate, this is great for a podcast.
You're prat.
This is incredible.
You're losing to Grimsby, you prat.
Wait, I can put it up on a live stream now if you want.
Yeah, hold on.
Mate, Dill's footy ramble and Goldbridge.
Oh, Dill's going to be in tears.
Yes, this is incredible. United stand.
Yeah, look.
Grip, stability, precision.
Poor lad.
That's the essence.
For the boy.
What's he saying?
Look, I can put it up like this.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
So this podcast is turning into us reacting to Goldbridge.
Dirty shit.
Goldbridge hate a lot. I actually don't mind Goldbridge, but what is he?
Knows exactly what he did there. Went right through him.
What?
Who's even playing? What's it even lineup though? Is it even that bad?
They got Ahmad's playing, Cunha's playing, Onana, Maguire, Dorgu, Ugarte. They got some like decent names on.
I'll pay for Onana's release, please.
I might have to put it on. But that's probably a good time to talk about like Manchester United. I mean, obviously this result's happening now, but
is it true United bringing a new goalkeeper to Stephen? I bloody hope so.
For nothing.
What's going on there? Like, are they just internally cursed?
Honestly, as you say, even both of us. I
Bartley
think
says, "What a
both
from
the double
Grace,
over
rest
as
in
well.
peace, United.
I
Don't even care no more.
We definitely did.
Drink on me.
We beat them. Yeah, we beat them at home to get 10 sacks and then beat them away. So yeah, no, I think you did.
And Arna could shop
it.
and have a club fight, and he still wouldn't say anything.
That
was El Sackico 1, and then El Sackico 2 was Gary O'Neill Lopetegui.
Yeah. Because I was thinking like Lopetegui. I always remember saying like Lopetegui could never beat Ten Hag when he was at Wolves because that was one of his first games. And then I was like, go on, Ten Hag. Yeah, here we go. I've got the game up now. They've got a free kick now. Can you imagine the limbs at Grimsby?
Yeah, I know.
Imagine the limbs, mate.
Yeah. Let's pop down the local. Yeah.
This is turning into a watch along, not a podcast.
Jesus, this is. I mean, they're bad. Everyone knows United are bad, but oh my God, 2-0 down.
That's such a clippable moment when I'm like, hold on a minute.
Yeah, big.
Wait,
I thought you were joking.
Lineup?
It's like strong, and I got Cunha's playing, Dorgu, Mainu, what's his name? Oh, the Nip. Ahmad's just taking over a kick straight at the keeper. Yeah, they got Onana's in goal. They've only got two youngsters. It's like Heaven and Frederick. Some of that Heaven starts sometimes.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah,
Can the podcast even carry on? I don't know.
Oh, it can.
It can.
But we got about 20 minutes. But Jesus, this is big. This is big.
Are we
big
getting
stuff.
Are we getting some people calling in? Have we got anyone watching?
No,
People are in now.
Right, okay, people coming in. Right, hello to everyone coming in now. Apologies. The bit before, from 8 o'clock up until now, is all pre-recorded. It will be up on TikTok, YouTube, all that sort of stuff. We're now taking the phone-ins. Call us, talk sport. Call us, talk what you want. We're talking ball here. So if you request down below, we will let you in and talk some
You got
ball.
15 minutes. You got from obviously the boy Brexit bubbles. You got me, very knowledgeable Wolves fan.
Sure.
So you know what to do. Call in if you want any Wolves questions, West Ham questions, or you just want to laugh at United.
Exactly. Yeah, we're all laughing at United here. 2-0 down. Although West Ham went out of the cup yesterday to none other than Wolves, this is bad. At least that was Premier League opposition. This, League 2. Maybe it's United's level.
Like they've got surely they've got to sack Hammer. I mean, all the talk in the week about Manu. Oh, Manu's got to play. Manu's got to play. I never even rated Manu. I always said Man United fans just overhyping another youngster. I mean, I don't know if I'm in the minority for that opinion, but I watched him. I was like, they're literally like going on about him for making simple passes, simple touches.
He scored that late goal against you lot, and that was it, really. What's he
literally, yeah. I mean, that's the problem. I couldn't say anything because he got the late goal against us. But I'm watching him now, and I'm thinking like, not much going on at all.
Not much going on at all. Yeah, he played almost every game in the Euros as well, and like he just oh, we got it up. Here we go.
Got it up. Come on, baby.
Up it. Yeah, no, he played every game in the Euros. And I don't even know how, to be honest. But
yeah, God. I mean, how can you lose two? Oh no, obviously the players are going to be up for it. Massive game. I mean, Spurs drew 0-0 with Tamworth and then beat them in extra time. Yeah. That's bad enough. But this,
I mean, they're playing Tesco as well. They're new. They're big. Apparently, summer signing. Obviously, as you say, Cunha. Yeah, they're playing everywhere. They can't even use the excuse of saying we put out the under-21s. This is bad. I mean, it's funny, but this is bad.
It's great.
Yeah,
I have so many. I mean, I am back in Wolverhampton now, but I went to university in Salford, which is literally like prime.
Yeah.
Manchester United territory. And, it's just wow. I did not. I generally thought they were going to be like good this season. The way they played against Arsenal.
Yeah,
it's so funny. Like for Cunha.
To be fair, I actually didn't think they were that. I mean, as you say, against Arsenal, like I thought they.
Oh my, that is a great tackle.
They were actually. I thought they were actually all right, but just couldn't put anything in the back of the net. Even though they'd gone out and bought this whole new attack of Mbeumo, obviously Cunha, Sackico, and that.
Well, the game just finished in a minute, so we can go back to talking about Wolves and West Ham or whatever.
Goldbridge is losing his mind over here.
Are you watching him, are you?
He's literally losing his mind. Yeah, United are in a mess. If anyone thinks West Ham are in a mess, if anyone even thinks Wolves are in a mess, then take a look up north.
Take a look at what's going on in Grimsby right now.
And back at that circus, that waterfall that is Old Trafford. Take a look.
Right, can you imagine being that away end right now?
Oh, God. I mean, literally the whole... To be fair, though, I mean, there'll be so many Man United sat in that Grimsby end, but even still, being a Grimsby fan tonight, that's what you live for. You're 2-0 up against United at half-time. I hope they go on and win, because even if United turn this round and win 3-2, this is disgraceful.
2-0 as well.
Yeah.
Surely if they lose, Amrin has to be sacked.
I mean,
especially like how bad they've been recently.
Yeah. No.
Honestly, 7 Premier League wins out of like 29 games.
Yeah.
Sure, they've got to bring Bruno Fernandes on.
All right. But to have to bring on your captain against a League 2 team, they've gone to another. I mean, imagine showing this result to someone about 20 years ago. They would think you're.
Bringing back West Ham Kidderminster vibes.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, I probably shouldn't speak about this. But yeah, we're wondering, that's arguably worse.
No, the only reason I remember that is because like Kiddie's pretty near where I'm from, so like, but Declan Rice just well, does what Declan
In the
Rice.
Michael Jackson. Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. Literally.
But yeah, I mean, West Ham fans, obviously disappointing game yesterday. I do want to. Have we got something in the chat here? Oh no, I thought there was something in the chat, like a question.
Yeah. Carter, was there anyone who wanted to come on, by the way? Because I can't.
Yeah, I'll have a look.
We'll have a look.
Oh, of course we'll have a look.
Nah, no one's on at the minute.
No one's on. That's right.
If you want to talk about the game or whatever, just put your hand up, everyone.
Yeah. I mean, I think we should probably just recap what we talked about on the podcast, because obviously people will probably go and watch it on the YouTube, but as I said, it's a case of like, Claret Corner wants it.
Oh, my good friend Claret Corner, hello. Come on, mate. Get him up.
There we go.
Right.
Hello.
How you doing?
You all right?
How you doing, what did you make of the game yesterday? Were you there?
No, I changed my mind after Chelsea. I had tickets.
I don't blame you. I should have done the same.
Yeah. It was just embarrassing, to be honest. It was just like pathetic. Like I don't know if you saw in the first half, we had players tackling each other, falling over each other. So embarrassing. But like all credit to Wolves, cause like I mean, we didn't make them look like Barca there. Like we were shocking. They were playing some really good football.
That's the best I've seen us play since we won 6 in a row, really. But to be honest, we didn't even like the performances weren't necessarily there. The 6 in a row, we just got the results in. But like, I mean, we weren't anything special that first half, and obviously you absolutely dominated the first half. But I think what was good was because we had some of the fringe players playing, and we brought on some of the first team players. And obviously, it is a fairly new team. I feel like we found our best team. I mean, the fact we had like Hugo Bueno putting in crosses for a 6'8" striker, and Strand Larson, and Jackson Ochoa going down that right hand side, unbelievable, really. So great performance. But I don't know how you guys really allowed that to happen, to be honest.
I mean, I don't know how many times it's got to be said, but that 5 at the back does not work. It just doesn't.
No, it hasn't. It's never worked. He's been using it loads, and it's never ever worked. Especially with however you say it, Aguero, whatever. However you say it, basically him at the back. He spends a bit of time on loan out at Real Sociedad or whatever. He's all right. He used to be a lot better. You have him in a back three with Kilman and Todibo. Kilman is okay, not 40 million in my opinion, but he's okay. Todibo again, all right, but you can't be playing a 5 back even with.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. It's too defensive, and then we still concede.
But the reason we're conceding with a 5 back is because the type of defenders we got, they don't get stuck in. They're these like I don't want to use this word, but woke defenders. I don't have to explain it. They
are.
There's
they're all playing defenders. You need
no wokeness in my life, so you can use that.
And you need a Craig Dawson in there. You need someone who wants to, go in for the headers, go in for the challenges. We don't have that. They're all
Craig Dawson, James Collins. You need a proper, like, even get Mark Noble back, stick him back in defence. Like,
Max Kilman, even though he played alongside Craig Dawson, he certainly didn't teach him any of his tricks. I know that from his time at Wolves.
No.
I mean, he's an intelligent player. He's a good passer, but he ain't a West Ham player, is he? It's not West Ham. And to be honest, I thought he wasn't. He first joined, like, obviously from sort of the London area. I mean, he said he'd never leave Wolves, but he ain't a West Ham defender, man. I mean, I like Kilman. I think he was a great player for Wolves, and just shame how we kind of left quite abruptly without properly giving a goodbye. But obviously, it was a lot of money, so we weren't going to say no. But
no,
I'd imagine that's probably one of the worst signings you've ever made in terms of like personnel.
Money wise, maybe. I mean, I think they're like. I don't think he's been that bad. There's been no real like he hasn't really. I wouldn't say he's been terrible. He's just kind of been mid. Like to go and buy a defender for £40 million, and then like I know in today's money that's probably not even a lot, but to go out and buy a player for 40 mil, and then just nothing really. He hasn't proven anything. Not that you expect him to score from a corner, but he hasn't even like scored from a corner. He hasn't like just. I can't think of one like real notable tackle from Kilman. Like he's just been mid since we got him really.
Yeah,
I remember
agreed.
He got that assist against Crystal Palace about 2 games in, and I was like,
true.
Oh, they're showing the highlights of the Man United goals here. So this was
is it bad defending? Is it because they?
Aaron Maguire looks like Aaron Maguire's mistake from what? Yeah, just not marking up, and then just a great finish. That's actually a really good goal. But it's terrible. It's like defending's all over the shop. Like Delo's, I don't know where Delo is. Wow.
And
he's against these lot.
That is actually. It's not like United's given them the ball. You know what I mean? It's wow. Onana probably should do a lot better. He's been in his near post. So we look.
God, yeah, we were linked to
That
Onana
was
the other day.
Onana's hand. What do you think? What do you think the main problem is? Do you think it is Potter? Because obviously you said you kind of wanted to back Potter in the podcast, as you'll see. Oh my God, both goals were Onana's mistakes.
Were they?
Come on, the whip across in. He just completely misses it.
Terrible. He's a shocking goalkeeper.
Probably VAR was in this game. I feel like that probably would have been ruled out. To be fair,
maybe,
actually, no, probably not. It's Onana who clatters him. Wow, that's incredible. Oh no, just completely misses the ball. God, I mean, there could be a shot of a handball, but wow, we are witnessing football history here, people.
This is football. this is proper. This is proper Carabao Cup action on a Wednesday night. I'll tell you that for free. This is what you love to see.
Yeah, you do love to see it. I like seeing the small teams get past the big teams.
Yeah.
So anyway, back onto West Ham because I feel like we keep getting distracted by the absolute comedy show that's going on in Grimsby. But yeah, I mean, what would you say the main issue is? Like, what's caused that to happen? The downfall.
Yeah. So, well, the easy answer is Potter. Some people say the board. It is a bit of both because I don't think he's got the team for it. There are some definitely some players in there, like Kilman, for example. I keep going back to Kilman, but Kilman was a Lopetegui signing. It's not a Potter signing. You look at again, Todibo was from Lopetegui. Lopetegui, the only ones I'd say his only proper signing so far has been Diouf and then bringing Aguerd and then James Ward-Prowse back. So I don't even think he's got his team yet. But the board at the minute, they're not. He's lost 3 games in a row. They're not just going to go, oh, here's £50 million to spend. We're going to be getting this midfielder from Monaco. I'm not entirely sure his name is. Not actually sure how to pronounce it, to be fair. Claricologgio. What's it? The bloke from Monaco. Is it Magata or something? Yeah.
Songa 2 Magata, something like that.
Yeah. He seems all right, but I would say the problem at the minute it's either Potter just being completely out of his depth in too big of a team because his best performing club was obviously Brighton and they were a lot smaller. He's either really out of his depth or he hasn't got his team. I'd say.
Yeah,
that's been his.
Potter just seems like an excuse. I mean, if I was a West Ham fan, I wouldn't really like the way he handles himself in the press. Doesn't really sit right with me. Like he just comes across like quite stressed and rude, and just like doesn't really come across very professional. If I was a West Ham fan, I'd be like, what's he even saying to the players? Is he that likable a bloke? He seems quite arrogant to me, and I don't really think he's got. Apart from doing quite well at Brighton, when really like it was, he did build the team, but like really, it was like a 1.5. It was like a good season, and probably the beginning of a good season. And he's obviously done well in other leagues, but in terms of like Premier League, he hasn't really done much. I think there's a lot of arrogance to him. I don't know. Compared to our manager, who's like really humble and goes out, meets fans, goes to pints to the pub. Obviously we're performing very similarly at the moment, but I think Pereira's obviously the kind of, I suppose, a lot more likeable. That's giving him a lot more time in a way. Because there's doubts of Pereira being sacked, obviously, but you could argue, like realistically, we're probably on a kind of similar kind of wavelength at the minute. We're both struggling.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's spot on. But it's right to be arrogant if you've started the season with 10 wins in a row. He's gone 3 games without a win, 2 in the league, 1 out the cup. You can't be getting arrogant. And then when he gets frustrated, obviously you're going to be frustrated if you're losing all these games. But it's hard. It seems to be hard to back the guy at the minute. You go out and say anything positive about Potter, it's going to be backlashed by the fact that we've lost 3 in a row and we're getting battered every week and the teams he's playing isn't right, and stop playing Guido Rodriguez and this and that. And honestly, if he loses Sunday, although it's such a hard game, he is in trouble. That bloke is in trouble.
Yeah, serious trouble. Do you think he'd be gone after Sunday? Because I was speaking to that Alex from TikTok. I know you said you kind of know him. He was saying he doesn't think they'll sack him because he's saying the board can't really afford to sack him. I don't know.
No,
I've heard rumours that they are going to. He's been given 2 games. I don't know how true that is.
Were those two games? What, Wolves and then
Wolves and Forest, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll find one over in the international break.
Does he need to win Forest, or would you have to take a draw away? Because I've got you to get a draw, just because I feel like you do need something. And if you don't win, it's like, what do you do?
A draw sounds about right. I mean, you'd have to take it. We just need any points we can get at the minute. But I feel like even if we lost that game, the board, although they've said 2 games, they're liars. They'll say that and they'll go, oh, we'll give him one more chance against Spurs,
Yeah.
and they'll look bad against
It's like
Spurs. They'll be like,
protecting
oh, but it was Spurs. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, boys, I've really enjoyed coming on.
Yeah.
Obviously, I said I'll be on till 9, and I'm going to go and try and make a video out of this Man United game if I can. But I've got a really busy day tomorrow. So,
Fair enough.
Carter and Claret Corner and everyone in the chat, apologies that we couldn't get this going live. But as I said, it's all be recorded. You can watch it on YouTube. The clips will be out on TikTok. Really enjoyed coming on. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed having me on. Obviously, I know probably a Wolves fan isn't really what you want to hear after last night. But I hope you enjoyed having me on. I'm looking forward to hopefully getting involved with some more thingies. Hopefully, I'd say we can definitely get some in-person videos going. Maybe a few games of football, something like that. There's, I've only just started my channel really, so there's
obviously go give support to George. Yeah, obviously brilliant. Yeah, thanks for coming on, all that. But yeah, thanks.
George Sports Balls on TikTok. Think everything. But thanks very much for having me, and I'll see you all.
Thank you very much, mate. See you in a bit.
Thanks, mate.
As for everyone else, I think we are also just going to leave that there. Again, apologies we couldn't get it up and running in time, but everything else will be clipped up on and reposted on my account, on the actual official Footy Fanatics Lounge account. So we'll see you lot in a bit. I'm going to watch the second half of Man United, hopefully losing to Grimsby. Catch you in a bit. Company Wines. See you later.